Good morning and happy Sabbath. What you are about to see today is the Doha Seventh-day Adventist Church history documentary video. We have interviewed several brethren from the church to ask them about their experiences when the church started and where they are now. And it's such an amazing blessing to hear their stories. We are excited and we are proud to present them to you today. We hope that you enjoy this video. God bless you. Happy Sabbath. This is the previous house church where the Seventh-day Adventist Church of Doha, Qatar used to worship in. As you can see, the upper part, those are windows to individual bedrooms. That is where we occupied. Some of us have occupied the rooms up there, and we were living there. And downstairs is where the worship hall is. So we worshiped there for some three or 4 years before we actually moved to the Anglican Center.
Way back in the year 1999, when I arrived here in the month of December, and I saw the church where only 6 or 8 persons having the Vesper program.
The Pops, which is the Sons of Praise Singers at that time, is very active. So we have to do caroling, to buy one TV to put it in the other hall.
The first people who started this church was initiated by Brother Hernan Gonzaga, who succumbed to liver cancer. He was the one who started this movement, I would say, or gathering, and then followed by Sister Jewel, and then Sister Judith, and Brother Wilson, and some others who were no longer here, with the exception of Sister Jewel.
When I arrived in Doha in 2005, March, we are already in the villa. So we are starting in the villa. And this villa is a house, we can call it as a house church, because we are we are 4 families staying there, and there are 4 rooms up, and down is plainly the house, the church, right?
Well, I was relocated from Kuwait to Doha, and I was in the church, Qatar church in 2006. I started the church in 2006. And at that moment we were worshiping in Brother Jeff's place, and it was a small villa that we were worshiping, and we had a membership of maybe 50 people.
But actually, before arriving here in Doha, where the church is now, there was already an existing what we call group that continued this service for a number of 10 to 12 years. Because it's actually started way back in 1982 when few members from the conference came back here to see if there are the existence of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And fortunately, it's a blessing that they found. Most of them coming from the Hamad Hospital.
It took for 2 to 3 years for me to find out that there exists a Seventh-day Adventist. It was Brother Wilson who guided me to this church.
From that villa, we started to arrange everything. The kitchen would be the kitchen there would be our kitchen, and our dinner. It's all there, because the half of it, the one hall, is the church, and apart from that, we have to set aside, because we are already growing at that time. They have to take another hall.
We joined the Anglican, and we are worshiping there in a small porto cabin, which was 100 people in the porto cabin. And then slowly we moved to a bigger one. We went to 150 to 200 then we moved, as they got the building ready, we moved to the bigger bigger buildings, which was like 350, and then now we are in a bigger the biggest hall which is available at the moment, which can even hold 400 people.
So from a small group, a small program, it grows up until now we have not only 8 or 6 members, but we have like 350 to 400 members. So this is because of the work of the Holy Spirit.
And then from there, we can see now that we are in this Anglican church. I cannot imagine that from 8 to 10 people, now we have around more than 200, and the number of children has increased also. And I would say that if you cannot stop the work of God, and from that time on now, you can see that the different nationalities joining our church.
And of course, we have what we call pioneers, those who started, okay? And majority of them are Filipinos, working in Ahmad Hospital. And we praise God that because He is working, that the purpose of the church to spread the message will be made available in this part. So way back from that year until now, you could see that there is a progress here.
How do you feel about growing up in Qatar?
Well, it's very hot, the weather, but it's so fun if you're staying in the house just because of the AC.
How young were you when you arrived Doha?
I was 14 when I first came in Doha, and I think I was just told to leave Philippines days before the flight. So it was a big shock to me, and I was leading a couple of young people as well around that time, since I was 10, I think.
Do you have many friends?
Yes, they're kind.
Awesome.
So I was 14 when I came.
You were
first came.
14 when you
Yes.
came.
Yes.
And when you were 14 and you came, how many young people did you find in the church that time?
There were just 2. I'm the 3rd and my brother's the 4th. So there was Sunshine and Siler. So I really grew up here, not only by the age, but also I could say spiritually. Because I didn't know, as I've said, I cannot imagine how would my spiritual life would be here, because it's very hard. I think around that time it was hard for me because it's a Muslim country.
Tell us about that, because I remember. I just want our brethren to know. You have a CD. You've recorded a CD. You want to tell us more about that?
Okay, so it was used as a fundraising activity back in 2010, I think, and around that time we are struggling of getting a budget because the places here are very expensive, and would like to have a comfortable place not only for the members but for also the outsiders who could come and join us. So we have thought of the CD, and it's composed of 12 songs. 10 songs of composed of solo, duet, and trio, and another group which we call 10-10 Chorus, which has 10 members of it, including a baby. Which was, we took the baby inside the recording studio because we cannot leave the baby outside. But now she's big already, she's turning 4. So it was a big blessing for us, and it's composed of a group of families and couples.
Any message that you would like to share to the younger kids who are also like you, growing up here in SDA Doha?
Well, I wish they could learn about Jesus and also be kind and true to other people.
And we are here in the choir practice. Choir practice has just finished. And with the choir members, say hello, guys. So here we are with the choir directress
I'm the
of last year, Sister Marada, but she has a lot of story to tell us. How did you start with the choir?
We started the choir, I think, early 2012. And we are just few at that time. because it came to my mind that the church is become more bigger and bigger, so we we plan, or there is something that encourages us to have a choir in Doha Church.
You're new to the choir, right? When did you join?
I think a year ago.
A year ago. And how do you feel about joining the choir now?
Well, I really feel blessed joining the choir because I came here last year, 2013, and then maybe almost a year. So I was not able to come to church every Sabbath, sometimes only because my sister is having duty. So, and then finally, I really decided to I met some friends in the personal ministry, and they always invite me to go to church, and was able to attend every regular Sabbath. So I decided to be a part of it because I'm also like wants to sing and want to express the love of Jesus in singing.
No, I really like the choir because I really learned a lot, especially the technical things in singing.
If you really love serving God in all the activities of the church, you should be involved. Loving Jesus is loving in His service.